What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? It is your boy, Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first round pick with the Kansas City Royals. And listen, man, I'm sorry I'm jumping on this late over here, man. I got a man, as of yesterday, man, we had a great show, man, and it was I appreciated Coach Carl Nix coming on yesterday, man. It was a dope show, man, and talk a bunch of knowledge, man. Good, great stuff. And man, it was worth everything, man, listening to him yesterday, man. So, but I wanted to hit you guys up, man, and I wanted to talk a little bit about confidence, right? And today I was on the phone with a couple of parents, a couple of friends of mine, and Brenda, what's good? What up? What up? All right. We had this conversation, today was hardcore. It was just all about fear and in different walks of life, right? Because we all get tested, right? So I'm gonna get on my little soapbox. I'm gonna get on this preachy today. All right. I don't care. It's baseball, but it's all about real life too, right? So Brent, what's good, family? What's good? So today I had a friend of mine who was going through an issue. I had a parent I talked to was talking about her son potentially leaving home to go, to go to school and the fear of leaving the nest, all right, for a young baseball player. And not really knowing how you're going to act until you get in these situations. And change is extremely hard. It's one of the biggest things that helps you grow as a person. But change, as far as something that you've been doing your whole life, and we're all habits and creatures of routine. So from a kid's standpoint, he's happy being at the crib, being close to his friends. So when it comes to choosing the school and going further away, it may be an issue with him of expanding. And you got other kids that just feel like, yo, I'm ready, to go as far as I can, right? Nothing ever happens, I've known this and learned this the hard way and have taken it to heart now, right? Where I feel like things that happen in your life, as far as wanting to, we're going to talk baseball, we're going to talk real life, but certain things that may happen and be put in front of you, it's for a reason, to either overcome it or let the fear overcome you, right? So in baseball, right, it could be a kid choosing a school. It could be the type of coaching that you're getting that you don't necessarily believe in, but you're going to try and make it work because A, you're being coachable, and B, you're trying something new. All right. And trying something new, and that's where, you always have issues with swings and defense and different ways of being taught something. When you're struggling, you're ready to open it up. But when a teacher or a hitting coach or something is trying to say, listen, what you're doing in high school right now is good. You're putting up numbers and everything, and you need to have the confidence in your swing. But long term, depending on who's teaching, you always say this, long term, that swing may not work. All right. And I think Carl talked about this yesterday. Carl talked about, at a certain level, certain bad mechanics will catch up to you, and you will end up, getting your butt handed to you. All right. Where you're going to be forced to change. All right. So when an obstacle comes, and especially for our kids, right? So I'm gonna go from the parent side, and especially when it comes to teaching confidence, and because they get a lot from us. All right, it's nothing like having a confident parent around you, to kind of give you that self-confidence from a kid, especially as they're growing, because they're always going to get hit, especially with the game of baseball, when it's 70% failure. All right, from a professional ranking side, and 60% it should be from the amateur side. All right, 60%. You're going to get tested. and you better know how good of a player you are, or you will not make it in this game. It could be at a high school level for certain players where they pan out. It could be college where they pan out, minor leagues when they pan out, and I say flame out, I should say, or in the major leagues, right? This is something that, as parents and as coaches, we have to instill confidence in our young kids and all of that, because with the beauty of sports, it kind of opens up that's why I love sports, man. And I didn't realize this again until I became a coach, man. When you are instilling good things into a young athlete and all of that, that kind of goes on the cups across the board. Because when you feel good about what you're doing on the ball field and all of that, it's a different swag. You know what I'm saying? It's a different walk you have. It's a different, truth be told, baseball and sports in general ended up, helping me become, that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like that confident dude. All right, because leading up to entering high school, I dealt with the issues of body changing and I think I'm this, I hope I'm that. You're going through your phases of looks and body and all of this, right? But once I started performing, I was always good in the youth space. But when I got into the high school realm, right, when the attention got outside of the parents and all of that, you gain a different swag. That's why athletes always say it's a different swag would come to athletes or rappers or, I could say successful businessmen, but it's just a different, because I know plenty of businessmen and actors that want to be athletes, and athletes want to be on the other side of things over there. But it's a different swag that comes along with being an athlete. All right. Just like, once you know that you are confident and it goes into on a baseball field, or, it travels in all aspects of life. But in the initial part of things, that's why it's so important that you do not beat a kid's confidence. All right. From a coaching standpoint. Now, you got to get in their butt when they need to, but you cannot beat that confidence out of that kid. I was just talking to my daughter, and I was telling her about, different swings and different people that I came across in this baseball world. And when you play at the highest level, it's the ultimate, macho thing, right? You got to believe in yourself wholeheartedly, because even to get to that point into the league, you know what I'm saying? You done been told different things. You done been yelled at, screamed at by fans, by your own coaches, by your organization, and all of that, where there's always times of doubt. But when you get to that, that league, all right, you get to the league, you better be confident in what you're doing. All right. And I was talking about this swing when you got Ichiro, you got Tony Batista. And I said this before, I talk about his swing all the time. Tony Batista was a Dominican third baseman, played for the Blue Jays, Diamondbacks. That's what I remember him playing. I know he played with a bunch of teams. He had the ugliest stroke ever. Okay. But once I kind of knew and I understood what the major leagues was about, when I saw Ichiro and Tony Batista, you know what I'm saying? Like at the highest level, where Tony Batista would hit 40 home runs a year, and Ichiro would just, Ichiro is Ichiro. And I was just like, you would never teach hitting like that, right? And here I am thinking about, I got to think balance, and I want to look pretty and all of that. But ultimately, looking pretty and results are two different things, right? They were so confident in what they were doing, right, that it didn't matter what they look like. Because when Tony Batista would swing a bat and miss, I want you guys to YouTube Tony Batista. When he would swing and miss, it'd be the ugliest looking thing. When he did his practice swings, it would be so ugly. And I used to just be like, I'll just look and just be like, how's this guy getting it done? He had confidence. The ultimate confidence in his swing and his body and all of that. He didn't, there was nobody that ever taught him how to hit like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach somebody, how to hit like that. All right. He took it upon himself, worked hard at it, and just was like, yo, I'm a ride or die with this right here. And we go. And sometimes, us as athletes, and I say this, and then, the kids and all that, they're so worried about the prettiness and all of that and how they look and all that, because we're teaching them balance and love, whatever. And that means a lot. But they got to be confident in what they're doing, because eventually they're going to succumb to somebody else that's more confident. And the beauty of being an athlete, right? We have insecurities. I used to hear Griffey Jr. was one of the biggest, insecure dudes and all of that. But, it comes off as brash, but ultimately you have to. I think of the things and stuff that I used to say and do when I was, as a professional, man. I remember I cursed. I ain't gonna say I cursed at Lou Piniella, but I cursed, in the locker room, in the meeting with Lou Piniella, and it was like he looked at me and I loved him for this, man. I didn't really, I didn't really like rock with him until I had this meeting, and it was like, yo, and I fought with him like hardcore, and I cursed, and I was fighting, and I was like, yo, F this and da 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 da, and in a meeting and all of that, and in my mind I was fighting for my career, which I was, you know what I'm saying, and I was so confident in all of that. But again, at that level, when a bunch of macho dudes and all of that, Lou Piniella walked out that office as I cursed him. I didn't curse, say F you, Lou, and I wasn't like that, but I was like, yo, I'm the F, and I'm the F, and I'm better mother F, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, you out there, and he just looking at me like, who is this guy? But he was like, yo, I walked out of there with my respect. You know what I'm saying? Terrell, man, Tony swing was crazy. Right. Tony Batista's swing was crazy and would hit bombs. And I just wanted to talk about this confidence aspect of it, man, because as evaluating now, as other players, man, when the higher you go, man, these dudes are sharks, man. It's a doggy dog world out there. They sharks out here. They smell fear. You know what I'm saying? They smell fear. Your opponents smell fear. Your evaluators who are evaluating you smell. I didn't say they smell an unconfident player, but they know a player who's not confident in their ability. And sometimes these dudes can really, really, truly play. But who wants to sign somebody that's not confident in their own skill set? All right, they hit a ball and everything like that. Yeah, no doubt, Angel. 100 pence is another one. Just gangly, just nerdy, just all over the damn place, and end up having a great, great career. Just retired. I remember him and I faced him in the minors one year for like one series. I was hurt or something. I went down and I can't remember. Yeah, I remember playing, and it was a prospect. He was a big time prospect with the Astros at the time, and I remember watching him play, and I was just like, yeah, this dude was all over the place, but he freaking raked in, and he ended up having a great career. All right, confident. You would never teach somebody that here, but it was just one of those. I know my stroke. I'm very confident in it, and I'm gonna go. All right. But again, just remember, and even if even if you learn to like be fake with it in the beginning, if you keep telling yourself and understanding, and again, I struggle with confidence. I still do at times. We all do with different things here and there. That especially the change part is something that we don't know and all of that. But that's part of having faith in your ability, faith in who you are, faith in you draw from what you've done in the past. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these kids have to understand, that when you struggle, take it as a blessing, especially when you come out of it, right? Because once you learn how to struggle, the younger you know how to struggle, the better the understanding that you have from the struggle. And once you get out of that experience doesn't leave you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're 10, I don't care if you're 14, I don't care if you're 24. You know what I'm saying? Once you learn how to struggle and you come out of that, that type of experience doesn't leave you. I remember I struggled one time as a 12, 13, and I kind of halfway, struggled. I remember, being really, truly upset. But once I got to the pros, I struggled as a 20-year-old. That's the first time I think, and at that time, that's the first time I ever really, truly struggled at baseball. And it was, I thought the world was over. All right. But I came out of that. I'm talking about I was like a 6 for 78, some crazy number like that. 1 for 42 in between those time frames. 1 for 40 something. Right. And I just talked. I've just posted on my page about Shaq Lawson, the linebacker for the Panthers. He was he got drafted by the Red Sox. I heard about that. I know he was a baseball player, but I didn't realize. But he went 1 for 39 with 37 strikeouts. All right. and I posted like baseball is a whole different beast, which it is. It is, all right. But once you get into this pro game, 1 for 30s, 2 for 20 somethings, they're like a dime a dozen. They like, yo, you ain't played. Who came on the other day was talking about Lou Collier came on last week and was talking about that, right? How he went. I mean, I don't know if y'all got a chance to look at Lou Collier and I's interview, and it was like, yo, he talked about, you know, how he was struggling, and one little statement that a big leaguer gave him coming up, and he turned this whole thing around, man. But you ain't really been through a scuffle or anything until you get into them, college. I'm guessing it's like that too, but pro ranks, especially when you go through that 1 for 40s, the 1 for 35s, you ain't been through nothing until you've been through them. Where you worried about your job, you worried about somebody taking your job, you worried about, you know what I'm saying, if you can hit, if you're ready for this level, if you can play at this level, all these things go on in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, and you gotta be confident that you can get out of it when you know you're going to the ballpark. As soon as you step in the box, it's you 0-2. You be like, I didn't even see a pitch yet, and I'm already 0-2. You know what I'm saying? And you got to find your way out. But once you gain that experience of how to get out of those slumps, how you do that'll take you all type of places. All right. I tell kids, and I know professionals especially. I always speak from a professional. I know I talk a lot of college and all of that, but I'm a professional guy, right? You know what I'm saying? I've been in the pros way longer than any other thing, right? So they almost want you to struggle early, minor leagues. They're cautious if you never struggled in the minor leagues. If you just breathe through the minor leagues, they are, they like it, but also evaluators and front office guys are very cautious about, man, he's never struggled before. Because you're bound to struggle eventually. I don't care, you may certain guys may get all the way to the league and then struggle. All right, it's how you take it. I remember Trout got up at 19 or something. They put him out there, and he struggled. You know what I mean? They took him down, and boom, got it back, and they were like, okay, he's ready now. All right, they wanted him to go up there to struggle. All right, because he was breezing through the minor leagues, and it was like, yo, at his level, his first struggle was at the league. They sent him back down, got his string together, brought him back up, and the rest is history. Marvel said injuries, yes, and it's tough. Injuries is one of the biggest confidence killers there is. All right, because it's nothing like getting hurt, because you already got to deal with the mental side. But when you don't trust your body, all right, I'm talking about trusting in yourself and your ability, man. But when you don't trust your body, oh man, that's double whammy, man. All right. This is when, as an athlete, this is when, the rubber hits the road with certain athletes, man, because you could be training, you could get hurt on the field, and there'd be a major injury, a little injury, and all of that. And when you lack that confidence in your body, because you're already dealing with trying to, especially the higher you go, you trying to hang in there and battle against some of the best of the ball players in the world. And when you hurt, when you feel like you got one hand behind your back and all of that, that is a tough thing. But again, that's all part of, you got to have confidence in yourself that you can overcome the injury. You can overcome anything that comes into you, because, the beautiful thing, and it is whatever, because this is real life type thing, right? Just baseball ends up being, for the youth baseball and the college rankings is fun, it's amateur side. But once you get into that, these guys deal with real life stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So, kids dealing with, family issues, and they got to go out there and play. They got to block their mind and go. You know what I'm saying? They deal with the same issues that normal people go through, and still got to go out there and perform, right? And entertain people. And that's why I'd be like, I get mad when people be like, oh, you're just playing a game. Oh, what do they have to, they're playing, getting paid, you know what I'm saying? Millions and all of that type of stuff. And I told my daughter and all of that, like, yo, to get to that level, to be the 1% of the 1%, like, yo, it's a lot of responsibility, and it should be hard. You know what I'm saying? To get to that level. Just imagine being an accountant and being the 1% of the 1% of the accountants in the world. You know what I'm saying? You should be paid handsomely. You should, understand that, yo, this is, I'm the cream of the crop, right? And that's why I even say, for you parents that have high school kids that are going into college, like, yo, you're the top 7% of that particular class in high school. You're the top 7% that got an opportunity to play in college. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, you have accomplished something even on from a high school to playing college. I don't care if it's NIA, Division III, whatever. You have accomplished the top 7% at something, of that, high school baseball, because we all, everybody's in the travel ball system. I keep telling this, we're all in the travel ball industry in high school. We all shooting for college. Some guys are in college already, but once you get there, you're part of the 7%. So that is an accomplishment. All right. That is a strong accomplishment. All right. So you had to deal with the issues. And most of the times, because it's high school and it's teenagers, they get away with a lot of talent. You get away with talent. Right. But they still had to overcome. They still had to deal with tryouts and showcases and coaches and long travels and night games and 5 games in a weekend and pitching Friday and have to come back and pitch on Saturday and catching all day and hitting balls and practicing in the cold and practicing in the heat and playing in the heat and mom and dad are fighting on the way home and mom and dad are fighting on the way there and my brother, my grandmother passed away and I still got to go play, and you know what I'm saying? So all of that issues, boom, happen to these high school students going all the way up, and they still make it. That's part of the 7%. You know what I'm saying? That is a strong accomplishment. You have to have confidence even on that level. You know what I'm saying? To get through the muck, be better than 93% of the other high school ball players in your class to make it to college. You know what I'm saying? That is, man. All right. Chances sounds like the military, no doubt. All right. They want to know they can persevere and keep it moving, no doubt. I mean, listen, man. I've never had another profession but being an athlete. You know what I'm saying? And I put it like this. My people that do great things and have jobs and businesses that are listening, that have their kids and all of that. Most of you guys were athletes. Don't you think that being an athlete kind of sets you up for post athletic, like some guys may not play past high school, but don't you think those type of athlete, the athletic, the competition, the trying to outdo that person, the working hard on the field and all of that just kind of transferred into real life, you know what I'm saying, for you guys? I know it has for me, at that level, right? And where I feel like I take some credible chances and I do certain things that normal people wouldn't do. But I sometimes certain things that I do, I have the ultimate confidence in certain things in myself. Like I literally love to bet on myself. And I think that's the athlete in me, you know what I'm saying? Where, I may lose, but I look at it like, yo, like all I need is one win. You know what I'm saying? That one win it will overcome all the losses, right? You know what I mean? And it hurt when they do it, when you lose something, all of that, but that's the athlete in me. You know what I'm saying? I love to be told you can't do something. You know what I'm saying? That's the athlete in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, don't tell me what I can't do. Don't tell me about whatever. I don't, I love competition. I don't ever hate on whatever. That's the athlete in me. Like, yeah, I want everybody to kind of succeed. But if it comes to me and you, I got to do what I got to do. Right. But I also love, I relish that, I didn't plan on at home. To me, I liked it, but on the road when people used to boo at me and call me all the type of whatever, that's what made baseball fun to me. Baseball is a boring game, man. I'll be the first to tell you. All right. So I used to look for things to give me that, I don't care if you playing in front of 50,000 or 5 people in the minor leagues. You know what I'm saying? Like when you playing in 50,000 and all of that, you get used to playing it, it becomes a job. All right. So you got to get people, you almost look for the fan to call you all type of bums and a-holes and you suck and all of that type of stuff. Right. You look for that type of stuff that juices you up. You know what I'm saying? When you get used to playing in front of that type of atmosphere all the time and all of that, you get used to telling somebody telling you ain't good. You know what I'm saying? And you almost need that fire. You know what I'm saying? That extra to show. I'm like, I'm gonna show your ass. You know what I'm saying? All right, you ain't gotta say it out loud, but it inner confidence in you. They're like, you don't even know who I am right now, dude. That's what that, you know what I'm saying? That athlete life. You know what I'm saying? Man, the worst statement ever made by nothings is just a game. I absolutely hate to hear people say that. No doubt. I hate Mark, you're so right. My friends of mine be like, dude, you just stand out there. Oh my God, you chew sunflower seeds and they know it irritates me. And I used to be like, yo, what do you mean? Like, yo, don't you think that like, You know, how would you feel if I go above your cubicle and be like, wrong typing, Mark, you suck. You know what I mean? What are you doing? No, that's the wrong thing to do. Why'd you send it to that manager? You should have sent it to that. Or why'd you tell your employee this? You suck. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, no, people don't even get that, whatever, but they feel that because you get paid all that, and they can come and just act, you know, crazy to you and talk all down to you and talk crazy. Nothing that they would say in your face, though, right? But they, you know, because of the fans and then the stands, they talk all crazy, right? But I used to tell my friend that all the time, and she used to be like, "You, who cares? You get paid all the money to stand out there in the outfield and just do it." And I was like, "Yeah," but I'm like, you may make a mistake, and you know your employer may, you know what I'm saying, see it and reprimand you a little bit, or maybe your employees might, you know, your 4 or 5 employees, you know, co-workers may find something that you made a mistake and laugh. I said, when you up on that level, you make one mistake, you know, not just the 30, 40,000 that's looking over there, but everybody's sports center going to see it. So there's going to be millions of people by the end of the night that's going, you know how many times I made a mistake? And my boys would be like, yo, what you doing, man? Yo, you don't even want to answer the phone call because you know what I'm saying? You're hearing it. All right. And that just comes with the territory, right? But in their mind, it was like, oh, so what? Oh, you made a mistake and millions of people saw it, but you're getting paid. Everybody think money just justify whatever, right? But listen, man, it's if you choose to do something like sports and you become the one, you know, the top echelon and all that, that's why I'm like, nobody ever says anything too much about actors making multi-millions of dollars, right? You know what I'm saying? Most people don't have, you know, too much to say about, you know, certain guys in business world making, you know, millions and millions of billions. They you know, love them, right? But sometimes it's just certain athletes, man, just as a, you know, it's a stigma that, you know, is privileged and we're spoiled brats, and we, you know, it's like they don't understand the sacrifices that goes along. And that's why I tell my daughter all the time. I was like, yo, there's you see the Serenas or you may see the Mike Trouts and all that, but you don't understand the sacrifice that went along to get to where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And we all know this as parents. We've been there. You all have the talks with our kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, certain parties you don't get to go to. You can't hang out with certain people on a regular basis. You got more to lose, right? People look up to you, good, wrong, and different. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be on. And I used to get made fun of all the time, even in the baseball world, what I do now, you know, post baseball and stuff, like, you know, it's a difference. You know, I hope you guys understand that D that's in front of you guys, or I'm meeting you in the person and all of that, is a little different from D behind the scenes, like from, you know, the few people that get to really see D with his hair down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know, that's a different dude. But when you get into that, you know, atmosphere and all, you have to be on as far as, hey, shaking hands and slapping fives and, you know, speaking and you know, and you know, that's part of being an athlete. And that started way back as a 14 and 15-year-old to me. You know what I'm saying? I started seeing how people looked at me different. That's how, again, I got the swag. It was like, yo, these people look at me and act different around me now because I'm doing so and so on the field. I'm doing so and so, you know, on this court. All right. I am separating myself from the pack. All right. So now I can't necessarily hang with my same crew. All right. Like I used to hang out when I'm 13 and 14. Now I can't, I got to get a whole, you know, different crew. You know what I mean? They my boys. I'm always going to rock with them, but I can't do the same things that they're doing. I can't go to the same parties and be where they're at. You know what I'm saying? It's just a difference. Joseph, what's up, family? All right. Joseph, what's good? What's good? Pierre, I appreciate it. All right. Let me see. Malcolm says, D, I'm a JUCO head coach in Dallas. How did I miss your camp? Will you have another one anytime soon? Malcolm, man, I wish you was there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in Waco. Drive down to Waco, I think it's an hour and a half or so. So come down to Waco, man. All right. I'll make sure, message me, man, and get down to Waco. I'm gonna find out about your junior college, man. Hopefully I get some kids there for you, man. Shout out to all the parents pulling this travel ball stuff off. Man, first of all, when I came up, travel ball didn't exist, let alone we could never afford it. Big sacrifice, parents. Hopefully the kids realize the sacrifice later in life. Not Pierre, shout out, Jose. You know, you're right, bro. Gosh, it is a sacrifice. It is a lot. You know, I may get on parents and all of that, man, but it is a large sacrifice. Times are just totally different, man. The 3 to 4 to 5 thousands of dollars being spent, traveling, all nighters, getting here, getting there, the education you guys receive, the the reaching out and finding out information. And, man, I'm all I'm saying is, man, you know, it's salute to those parents, no doubt about it, man. I tell my kids all that they can't do nothing. I tell my kids all the time they can't do nothing. I feel you, Clay. All right, I feel you. Was told once by a coach one time that athletes are better drivers, and it's true. We process, anticipate situations better. Hey, I don't know about the driving part, but it's funny. Like like I be around family members and we be playing spades or doing playing whatever, right? And you know they'll bang a card and then they'll slide off the table and I'll just catch it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll do something crazy and the hands are just the reactions. Just and here I am years later playing, right? And sometimes they be like, damn, coach, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they don't say coach, but damn, you know what I'm saying? I'll be forgetting sometimes that you was an athlete, man. Like when you do stuff like that, picking it right off the ground with the card or doing boom hand, you know what I'm saying? Called reaction times or anything or anticipation, like you said. We drive, we can see things happening before they happen, right? Or you sense certain things, all right? We could see somebody how they walk and be like, yo, he an athlete. What you do, all right? Or see a woman and everything like that, and he'd be like, yo, she an athlete. You know what I'm saying? You can tell how she walk. It's like, yo, it's I mean, I know a lot of people could say that, right? Especially women that got that eye for athletes, right? They know, right? But it's a different swag. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You could be 40-some years old, big as I don't know what, or 20-some, whatever. It's still, it's something. You know what I mean? It's something. All right. Body size, mindset, all of that. All right. All you do is sit in the chair all day. Jen, thank you, Jen. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's what she was, I always answer D was a beast on the court. Hey, Oscar, don't tell him, and D was a beast in the court. Don't tell him everything. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I always gotta, sometimes, like I said, I always gotta, show, because the weight is on and, the body don't quite, look the way, whatever. But, I have to tell my daughter sometimes too, like, yo, don't ever get it twisted. Your dad was a high level, high class athlete. Okay. And, it may not look like it now because I get out the car, my right knee is swollen. I'm limp from time to time. My bunions be flaring up on me sometimes. My shoulder, take me 30 throws just to get loose to throw 20 feet. You know what I'm saying? I got to warm up, you know what I'm saying? And, like but, when it comes to it, you know what I'm saying? Like she dealt with it like last year. She was out there talking junk with her friends and all of that. And she out there practicing every day. And it was, Dad, you can't beat me no more, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I didn't even want to race her because I knew once I race her, that I felt good that I was going to beat her, but I knew that my body was going to hurt, my bunions going to flare up, that I may have the ice right after that, right? Sure enough, she talked enough junk in front of her friends, and our competition aspect came in me, and I had to race her, and I had to get her, right? I beat her by just this much, but I got her, right? And I'm like, I don't know why you keep making me do this, but you ain't going to be, you're going to be XYZ age before you're able to beat me. You know what I'm saying? Talking junk, and all the coaches and all that was still out there. They were like, "You beat her?" Like, I'm looking at them like, "What you think?" Because they see the size and all that. But best believe 2 weeks, I was ice. My bunions had flared up. My knee was swollen, and just from a little 30-yard sprint back and forth, you know what I'm saying? It's real out here, man. And I lift every day. I work out every day, but that type of running and all of that, no way, man. Mountain View College. All right, Malcolm, hit me up, man. I gotta find out more about you, man. All right, need to get you on the show, man. Do you come to Cali to check kids out? Dallas, man, that's a shout out to my boy Tony Miranda, Cerritos College, man. We had talked about doing something in December, man, but I ain't talked about it since last month. But Dallas, man, I would love to come out there, man, and maybe in the summertime, man. We're going to New York in June or July. Man, hit me up, man. If you have some kids and a good base to start at, man. I'd love to, man. And who knows? We may do it in January. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But we did, me and my boy out there in California, we had a field and everything in LA area. We had talked about doing a showcase out there, man. So hit me up, private message me, Dallas, see what's up. I drove my son 1-2 hours away to go to his travel team practice, buying a commuter car just to save on gas. The struggle is real. Greg, salute to you, brother. I don't know about buying a car just for whatever, but that's when you know it's for real, all right? Instincts, word. Someone never get it. Choose story fans. Young boys always want to test us. I always tell them I can still do it right. You know what I'm saying? It's just being an athlete, man. Yeah, hit me up, brother. I coach high school. No doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, hit me up. No, we'll hit each other up. All right. Put it like that. Prophets message me. And because we sure was talking about LA, and I haven't, my boy Tony ain't been on in a minute, man. But I may be old, but I can still pick it like Pascal. I know that's right. Right. Listen, that's just an athlete talking, man. You know what I mean? We all get to that point, man. And I just wanted to kind of, talk about this confidence thing, man, because today's conversation, man, it was like just different from talking from a friend of mine to going through issues in her life, and then it was also a parent talking about her kid and the fear and confidence and stuff like that, man. I just think that today was one of those things where I wanted to hit that confidence thing up, man, because speaking about hitting and baseball and being confident in your skills, man, because baseball is such a, a failure sport, man. And I was, I just feel like I was talking to my daughter about this, man, where you have to understand and accept your wins, man. And one thing I wish I always did different when I was playing, man, because we get older and we coach and all of that. But I always wished I big myself up a little, because you say, when you want to be humble as an athlete, because in high school, it starts in high school because you're better than most kids and everything, and you don't, depending on who you are, you're not a bragger or you're nothing like that. You just let your play do the talking, right? So you always kind of succumb yourself. You want to be modest in the streets, and you like, you have that inner swag, but you don't really want to exude it. So you let dudes talk junk and, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But deep down, like, I'll bust your, you know what I'm saying? We ever get to it, right? But you're always playing the modest role. And then you get to the pros and, because baseball is one of those humbling sports, right? As soon as you feel like you the man and you feel like, you start talking junk and all of that, at least in my mind, I used to get superstitious where I was like, yo, I don't even want to talk about, yo, I'm feeling good and all of that, because as soon as I start saying that, bam, I'll hit the tank, right? You know what I'm saying? So it gets in your head. So, you always super modest and you don't want to talk loud and everything like that, right? And I wish one of the things I wish I would do different would not brag and boast, but like that 3 for 4 that I would take home that night, I would be like, yo, I'm supposed to do that, right? You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't necessarily give myself the pat on the back that I needed, like, yo, D, keep going and everything, right? I would beat, I'll be like, yo, that's what you're supposed to do. But then when I'll beat myself up when I went 0 for 4, you know what I'm saying? So I'm never really congratulating myself, but I'm always beating myself down. So eventually, that modest, hey, hey, whatever. And in 3 for 4, in my mind, I was supposed to do that every game. Who the hell hits 3 for 4 every game, right? But in my mind, I used to think that, right? And then, and I go 0 for 4, and I'm like, oh man, damn, I'm up in the middle of the night practicing my stroke, why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Beat myself up. You know what I'm saying? And that constant, like, never really praising yourself, but always kind of being here and boom, boom, in a 3 for 4, I'm supposed to do that. Not saying like, yo, nice job, D. It's I'm supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then, so you in this baseball world, and I'm learning this post baseball, is you have to, you know what I'm saying, pat yourself back on the back with the wins, all right? Because, there are people that win a lot that you think win a lot, but, for every winner, you have a bunch of people that, that you have those individuals that win a lot have, took some strong L's, but they know how to bounce back. You know what I'm saying? And, it's one thing that, and I promise you, I've just learned this, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, be cool with your small wins. You know what I'm saying? Be cool with your small wins. All right. If it's the business world or certain accomplishments that come to me, little small, but I've learned to, and trust me, like even friends of mine recently, is like compliments and stuff like that. I struggle with those. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know how to, but now it's like thank you. You know what I'm saying? because you always been told, oh, you're cocky, or you don't want. I never wanted to be told, oh, you're cocky, or you think you're this, because I always used to be always told, oh, athletes are so privileged. You think you're so privileged and all of that type of stuff, right? And I used to be told all of that. And I used to never want to be like, feel like I'm so superior to everybody, man. But just accept your wins. You know what I'm saying? Tell your kids to accept their wins. All right. You know what I'm saying? That 3 for 4, because everybody, kids, they forget everything within an hour or two after the game anyway. But when they win and they do good, and they go, over three for 3 and all of that, let them be happy and take that and help them understand. They don't have to necessarily brag, but help them understand, like, yo, be happy with your win. Even if it's a lesser opponent or anything like that, be happy with the wins. You know what I'm saying? Because once they get to that older, level and everything, you don't want them putting their pressure on themselves where they have to do this and all of that, right? It gets to the point where you win so much that, you start dissecting how bad you looked in your wins. You know what I'm saying? But a win is a win. Same thing with a swing, right? Sometimes, you hit the ball ugly and looks, whatever. And you'd be like, I used to tell my dude, like, yo, that's a hit. You know what I mean? That's a knock. And I remember my boy Raul Banez used to tell me that all the time. Like, yo, D, you know what I'm saying? When you jam shot and break a bat and it flares in and get a hit and all that, he's like, you did something right, man. So accept that. You know what I'm saying? Because be the same swing. You do everything right. You hit a hard line drive and it goes right to somebody, right? You did everything correct. It just hit the ball right to somebody, right? But you like, I ain't get a hit. But then you get a loopy hit and you going like this and it like falls in and you like, man, I ain't hit the ball clean. He used to be like, yo, you did something right, man. And so that's my thing, man. Accept your wins. A lot of people don't know the difference between confidence and cocky. I believe you got to be a little bit of both. And no doubt, man. No doubt, man. No doubt. Real talk, D. You did it at the highest level. Just tell them youngsters to Google you. Don't be afraid to praise yourself. I appreciate it, D-Rob. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, I was talking to Carl yesterday because he was kind of, staying, I ain't do whatever. And I, just like D-Rob, you talk to me, you pump me up right there. I was saying at the Carl, like, yo, why wouldn't I be able to teach, because I had on my online hitting training, right? And I put it out there and it was marketing out through our Facebook and some dude was like, how can a career 240 major leaguer teach somebody to hit, or something like, he's teaching hitting and he's a career 240 hitter, right? And, I got upset about that, right? But on the flip side, I ain't do this. I wanted to and be like, yo, what's your average in the major leagues? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, yo, you career, who are you? You know what I'm saying? And I told Carl that yesterday, right? And I was just like, yo, who, he was like, yo, well, I just do this in the major, whatever. But I'm like, yo, so because you didn't hit 300 in the major leagues, that means you can't teach a 12, 14, 16, 18 years old what it takes and how you're supposed to hit in the major leagues. You know what I'm saying? When you got these fake gurus out here that never played past high school or possibly a little bit of college, man, but they ain't never really truly, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and they teaching all these crazy methods and all that type of stuff, but they're supposedly supposed to teach you how to hit, you know what I'm saying, at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? You better shoot. You know what I mean? That's why I jumped into this, and I praise Lou's and I know Lou does the hitting thing and Carl and all of that. Hitting's my thing, but I have the platform, so when I bring these guys on, I want them to talk about themselves. You know what I'm saying? As far as like what they do and the hitting and the fielding and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And because I could talk hitting all day, you know what I'm saying? And I love, hitting wise. You can talk strategy, baseball wise, but hitting is my thing. That's what I love to talk about when it comes to baseball. But, I can get on here and talk for hours on hitting and all of that type of stuff and, speak confidently, you know what I mean? And I've done it in the past. My listeners that know me from day one, I was going to do that today. I was this close to just putting on some old hitting stuff and kind of going that route, you know what I'm saying, which I may do anyway, all right, in the future. But I just want to have my whole point with Carl is like, yo, he been there. You know what I'm saying? Don't shy away from, whatever. So just like D-Rob is pumping me, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Google what no doubt, man. Like I said, I can talk about it. I definitely could talk about the struggles up in the league. You know what I'm saying? Definitely talk about that. And how to, overcome them or overcome, it's 90% of the guys, I'm telling you this right now, just like it may happen in college for certain guys, or high school for certain guys, and major leagues for certain guys. Or, it's the game humbles you, and you 9 times out of 10, you walk away not on your own time. You know what I'm saying? It's on their time telling you ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's just be confident out here. Tell your children, tell your kids out there, like, yo, saying it and whatever, but they have to understand confidence is everything. All right. You can throw the ball funky. You can not hit the home runs like everybody else. You can not be as fast and all of that. But if you're confident in your game, and that type of energy breeds off of people. All right, when you're super confident, because it is a thin line between confident and cocky. You got to have a little cockiness too. You got to have a little bit of an a-hole in you in this game. Got to. You know what I'm saying? When Mully's always said, you got to be down and dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, you got to be, man, because this is a cutthroat game, man. Some of you guys experience it in college, in travel baseball. Some of you experience it in high school. Some is going to experience it in college baseball. You're definitely going to experience it in professional baseball. Now, the big business of travel baseball is all it is just kind of getting earlier and earlier now. That's all it is. Things are going down, getting a little bit more cutthroat earlier and earlier. So listen, man. So that's my key. That's my tip for today, man. Be confident in everything you do. We're going to talk baseball, but for us parents and us listeners and all of that, be confident in everything you do. All right, even if you not necessarily haven't done it before and you're changing up things, you're doing things differently, be confident in what you do. All right. I want to say peace. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to get a college coach on here. All right. I've been in contact with a couple. Maybe my boy over there from my boy in Dallas over there. My boy from Dallas, JC Mountain View College, man. Hit me up, Malcolm. Maybe get you on the show. All right, get you some junior college love out here. I was supposed to have Ventura College on today, but he wanted to come on earlier today, and I couldn't come on. I couldn't make it happen. But we'll be on tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate you guys' time. Love you guys, man. I thank you guys for being on. Confidence is everything. All right, confidence is everything. Love you guys. I'm going to say peace to you guys. All right. See you 4 p.m. tomorrow. Peace.